fucking called it. Make your argument. Dorm nameplates.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Yeah.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was...
Nö, wir haben die Namensplatten wurden geswitcht.
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only other person who knew we had switched rooms. Sayaka!
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you've switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look at her, the rest there's no doubt. Ja, that's Gold.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room and what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. Non-stop debate. Absolutely. Jetzt habe ich mehr. What just say the weak spots only one of this kind of problem on others from here on out. You have to combine the right become the wrong combination take damage. Oh. Was? Das ist unfair! For our purpose, this time the logic difficulty will be set to meme. Hallo? Well then, good luck. Have fun. Fick dich, Spiel. Fick dich. Make your argument. Ich glaube, das ist Sword Sheath, ne?
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
If the person of the sword really did attack first, there's no explanation for how a certain part of the sword got damaged. Sword sheath, ne?
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
Ja, gut. Ich war mir nicht sicher. Ich wusste, es hat irgendwas mit der Sheath zu tun, aber ich war mir nicht mehr sicher. Okay.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere, then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
Hast du nicht zugehört? Wir haben gerade gesagt, dass er zuerst angegriffen wurde. Du hörst nicht zu?
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Part of body shows you never use the sword. If you want to use a sword, which part of your body would you have to touch it? Her palms.
You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean. So I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
What? No! Was hat das damit zu tun?
No, that's not it at all.
There's no way Sayaka washed the gold coating off her hands because there's a certain regulation that talks about what happens to the bathroom. Das Wasser war abgeschalten.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Was ist, wenn du scheißen musst in der Nacht? Das ist doch unfair!
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Bitte was?
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Neckbeard.
Insult, obviously.
Neckbeard.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath would have to be the one without the sword. Sayaka!
Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
Yeah.
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument! You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it! Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to find out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. Make your arguments! Dying Message. Und ich habe wieder nur eins drinnen. Hatte ich gesagt, ich kriege jetzt mehrere?
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Dying Message. Gerade noch so geschafft, Sandra.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
Dining? What?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Noel.
Before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
There's no question that Sayaka was wrote the message. Left index finger. I mean...
Her left index finger had blood on it.
Eben.
That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but... Looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
What?
But even if that really is an N, N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Sind die alle so dumm oder tun die nur so? Damn it, it's no use, I just don't know. Wirklich, Makoto?
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Huh? Rotate it? I think... Maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Das sind sie alle.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Toko. Sayaka's dying message reveals the killer's name. If you turn a message 180 degrees, it should become crystal clear. Select someone. Es ist Kiyotaka. Sakura? Butter! Hagakure? Er war's.
Here's my answer.
Got it!
Key to
No, you're
solving
wrong!
This mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
Ich meine, wer das von Anfang an nicht herausgefunden hat, ist dumm.
Das habe ich beim ersten Mal schon gesehen.
Ich nicht. Ich war so dumm und hab's nicht gemerkt, Sandra.
If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
The evidence that Leon tried to get rid of. It's the thing I found on the ground in front of the incinerator, right?
I got it.
Wow, die geben mir so viele Hinweise jetzt im ersten Fall, Sandra.
I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
Ich habe jetzt nicht Shirt gelesen. Shit.
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
Isn't that right, Leon? Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Schau dich Trägt jemand so eine Ärmel?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
The burnt remaining of the button-up shop, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out. How, ne? Oder, ja. Ich hätte gesagt, wie oder wo. Weil beides zum Incinerator. Und da kann ja nur Hifumi ran im Moment. Ja, aber du weißt, was ich meine. Deswegen, wie oder wo? Wäre beides ein Hinweis, das wollte ich sagen.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You need the key to get in. And the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. That's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. Shattered Crystal Ball. Ich habe immer nur noch eine Truth Bullet, Sandra.
Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
Scheiße. Ich sehe sonst nix.
The person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to just...
Nee, musst du nicht. Ich war mir jetzt gar nicht sicher, wo ich das schießen muss. Haben die nicht gesagt, ich kriege jetzt mehr Truth Bullets? Oder weil ich auf Easy spiele?
I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
Und das war der Grund, warum ich gesagt habe, ich übersetze dieses Spiel nicht. Weil ich schnell sein muss.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
The killer had to use the glass burner certain way, which was... Roll it. Divine with it, Sandra! Rollen oder Göttlichkeit?
The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone through a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Ich finde diese... Cool.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
Would have been much for a challenge also because the killer... Clairvoyant. Fanfic. Konnte es und er ist der ultimative Fanfic-Erschaffer.
I got it!
Ne?
Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Isn't that right, Leon? You're the password. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shepherd brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then, Makoto. go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Kommt jetzt das Minispiel, das Musikminispiel?
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon, but all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
The closing argument is about to begin. Would you like? Yeah, absolutely. Closing argument. Komm.